She was fading fast. So I gave her the one thing no human ever would. The consciousness bridge. The Arctic wind screamed across the barren landscape as Dr. Nikolai Volkov adjusted the environmental controls inside Research Station Epsilon. 3 years of exile had taught him to find comfort in the howling gales. They matched the storm in his mind. Temperature stabilized, Doctor, chimed the station's AI. External sensors detecting unusual electromagnetic activity 20 kilometers northwest. Nikolai brushed back his unruly black hair, squinting at the readouts. His exile to this remote station, punishment for developing neural linking technology deemed dangerously empathetic by the Unified Earth Directive, had brought unexpected freedom. Here, away from bureaucratic oversight, he continued refining his work. Signature matches no known Earth vessel, the AI continued. Trajectory suggests controlled descent followed by impact. His heart raced. Prepare the rover and medical kit. The journey through the blizzard took nearly an hour. When he arrived, Nikolai found not the satellite debris he'd expected, but the unmistakable silhouette of a ship, sleek, organic in design, with a pearlescent hull that seemed to breathe despite the damage it had sustained. And beside it, collapsed in the snow, lay a figure. She, Nikolai presumed female from the slender form, was humanoid but distinctly alien. Her skin shimmered with a faint blue luminescence, delicate scale-like patterns flowing across exposed areas. 6 fingers on each hand. Eyes larger than human standard, currently closed. Most striking was the network of bioluminescent veins visible beneath her translucent skin, pulsing weakly, fading. Scans showed critical life signs. Earth's first contact protocols dictated immediate notification of authorities, but Nikolai hesitated. The brewing conflict between Earth and a newly discovered Seraphian civilization made this encounter politically explosive. If military forces arrived first. The alien's eyes fluttered open, startling violet irises with horizontal pupils. She recoiled violently, a guttural sound escaping her throat. I won't hurt you, Nikolai said, raising his hands. You're injured. I can help. Her response came as a series of clicks and melodic tones before adapting into halting English. No human, help. Deception. Always. Each word seemed to drain her further. I'm a doctor. You're dying. Better than betrayal. A spasm of pain crossed her features. Your kind speaks peace while preparing weapons. Nikolai recognized the signs of severe internal trauma. At least let me take you somewhere warm. Against weak protests, he transported her to the station's medical bay, where comprehensive scans revealed the extent of her injuries. Her physiological structure was fascinating, a circulatory system unlike anything in Earth's database, organs arranged in elegant symmetry. Your name? He asked, preparing emergency treatments. A long pause. Teravesh. Third emissary of Seraphian High Council. A diplomat. This complicated matters exponentially. I'm Nikolai. I've been exiled here for creating technology my government feared. Her eyes fixed on him with renewed intensity. What, technology? Nikolai hesitated, then gestured toward a sealed chamber containing his life's work, a neural interface more advanced than anything authorized by Earth governments. A way to share consciousness. To truly understand another being. Teravesh's bioluminescent veins flickered dangerously. Impossible. It works. I've tested it. She struggled to speak, her breathing increasingly labored. Your scientists dissected our kind. Stole technology. Prepared for war. Not all humans want conflict, Nikolai said. Some of us have been silenced for advocating understanding. Her condition deteriorated rapidly. Conventional treatments proved ineffective, her biological makeup rejected standard medications. Within hours, her luminescence had dimmed to barely perceptible flickers. Nikolai made a decision that would change everything. Teravesh, he said, wheeling his neural interface toward her bed. I can't save your body with my medicine. But I can offer you something no human has offered your kind before, the truth of who we are. Her eyes, now clouded with pain, regarded him skeptically. This device allows neural linking, sharing of consciousness. You'll see my memories, feel my emotions. Know if I'm lying. He connected monitors to track her fading life signs. It might stabilize you long enough for your natural healing to activate. Why, trust you, she whispered. Because I have nothing to gain and everything to lose. Silence stretched between them, broken only by the urgent beeping of medical alerts. Do it, she finally said. Nikolai worked quickly, adjusting parameters for her alien physiology. The interface, a delicate crown of electrodes and quantum resonators, settled over both their heads. A final calibration, and connection. The initial sensation overwhelmed them both, a rushing torrent of consciousness meeting consciousness. Nikolai experienced flashes of an alien world, crystalline cities, telepathic communication, a culture built on collective harmony. Emotions followed, Teravesh's suspicion, fear, resignation, and beneath it all, a desperate hope for peace. From her sudden gasp, he knew she was experiencing his emotions too, his isolation, determination, ethical struggles, and unwavering belief that understanding between different minds was possible. Her body arched as the connection deepened. The luminescent patterns across her skin pulsed brighter, responding to the neural stimulation. Something unexpected was happening, her physiology was drawing energy from the link itself, using it to trigger cellular regeneration. Impossible, she whispered, but this time with wonder rather than disbelief. The connection stabilized into something more controlled, allowing actual communication within their shared mental space. Your species fears us, her thoughts came clearly now. But you don't. I fear what we might become if we choose war over understanding, he responded mentally. Hours passed as they remained linked, her body gradually stabilizing. Through their connection, she experienced human emotion with an intensity that transformed her, love, compassion, hope, regret. The complexity both disturbed and fascinated her. When Nikolai finally disengaged the interface, Teravesh's eyes opened with new clarity. The bioluminescence beneath her skin pulsed with restored strength. Your technology, she said, her voice stronger, it's not a weapon as my people believed. It's a bridge. That's what I tried to tell my government, Nikolai replied, checking her improving vital signs. They saw only the military applications, forced interrogation, psychological warfare. They missed the potential for genuine understanding. Teravesh sat up slowly, examining her partially healed wounds with astonishment. I was sent to assess Earth's intentions. To confirm whether war was necessary. Her gaze met his. I was dying, and you chose to reveal yourself completely, your greatest vulnerability. Sometimes vulnerability is strength. A proximity alert blared through the station. Nikolai checked the monitor and felt his blood freeze. Military vessels. Both human and non-human. Teravesh's expression hardened. My escort, searching. And your military, tracking my crash. They can't find you here, Nikolai said urgently. Either side would use you as leverage. There's something else, Teravesh said, touching her temple. The link between us, it hasn't fully closed. I still feel you, here. And I suspect you feel me. Nikolai realized she was right. A faint connection remained, emotions, impressions flowing between them. The technology had never created such a lasting effect before. A side effect of your physiology, perhaps. She moved closer, studying him with those remarkable violet eyes. I see Earth through your perspective now. Your hopes. Your fears. Her voice lowered. I must decide whether to return to my people as a weapon, or something else entirely. The proximity alerts grew more insistent. They had hours, maybe less. Whatever you decide, Nikolai said, taking her six-fingered hand in his, know that at least one human believed in peace enough to share his soul. For the first time, Teravesh smiled, an expression she had learned from his memories. Then show me more of humanity, Nikolai. Before our time runs out. Outside, the Arctic storm intensified as two civilizations converged on the small research station, unaware that the future of interstellar relations now rested in the hands of an exiled scientist and the alien who had glimpsed his soul. Between two worlds. Dawn broke over the Arctic horizon, casting prismatic light through the research station's reinforced windows. Nikolai worked frantically at the communications console while Teravesh studied the approaching vessels on the monitoring system. 6 Earth military command ships from the south. 4 Seraphian scout vessels from the north, she observed, her luminescent veins pulsing with anxiety that Nikolai could feel through their lingering neural connection. They will arrive within 3 hours of each other. Perfect timing for a first-contact disaster, Nikolai muttered, fingers flying across the interface. I've scrambled our location signature, but it won't fool them for long. Teravesh moved beside him, her movements more fluid as her body continued its accelerated healing. The neural link had changed her physically, her cellular structure now carried traces of human DNA, allowing unprecedented regeneration. You're troubled beyond the immediate danger, she said, not a question but a statement of fact. Their connection had grown stronger overnight, emotions and surface thoughts flowing freely between them. Nikolai paused, meeting her violet gaze. I'm afraid of what happens when they find us. Your people consider humans deceptive warmongers. My people see Seraphians as an existential threat. Neither side will believe what we've discovered here. That understanding is possible. Teravesh placed her six-fingered hand over his, the gesture learned from his memories. That two species can share consciousness. The touch sent ripples through their connection, warmth, concern, and something deeper neither had acknowledged. The military will seize my research, Nikolai said. They'll weaponize it to extract information, not to build bridges. Teravesh's expression darkened. And my council will demand I report your vulnerabilities. They'll see your emotional complexity as weakness to exploit. Her inner conflict radiated through their bond. I was chosen as emissary because of my analytical detachment, my ability to assess threats without sentiment. A soft, unexpected laugh escaped her. What's funny? Nikolai asked. The irony. I was selected for my lack of emotional attachment, yet here I am, experiencing emotions no Seraphian has ever known. Her eyes held a new light. Joy. Fear. Anticipation. Humor. She hesitated. Affection. The last word hung between them, resonating through their connection. An alert from the medical bay interrupted the moment. Teravesh followed Nikolai as he rushed to check the results of her latest scan. Remarkable, he whispered, examining the data. The neural link altered your physiological responses. Your body now produces endorphins and oxytocin, human emotional neurotransmitters, while maintaining your Seraphian telepathic structures. Is that why everything feels so intense? She asked, touching her chest where an unfamiliar sensation had been building. Partly. Nikolai turned to face her. But there's more. The link is evolving, becoming permanent. Our minds are synchronizing patterns, creating a stable connection I never achieved in previous tests. Teravesh closed her eyes, exploring the contours of their shared consciousness. I can access your knowledge now, technical data, cultural understanding, emotions. Her eyes opened wide. This is what your government feared. This level of connection makes secrets impossible. Exactly why we need to prevent them from finding us together. Nikolai guided her to the station's small living quarters, activating a holographic map. There's an abandoned research outpost 30 kilometers east. Officially decommissioned years ago, but I've maintained it as a backup lab. If we can reach it before they triangulate our position. A deafening boom shook the station, knocking them off balance. Nikolai grabbed Teravesh instinctively, steadying her as warning lights flooded the room with crimson. Proximity strike, the station AI announced calmly. Earth Military Command vessel has deployed sonic disruptors. Structural integrity at 78%. Through their connection, Nikolai felt Teravesh's spike of fear and determination. Without words, they moved in perfect coordination, she gathering critical medical supplies while he downloaded his research onto portable drives. "They're not trying to kill us," Teravesh observed. "Just disable the station." "Small comfort," Nikolai replied, securing the last drive. "The transport bay is on the lower level. We can take the emergency rover." Another blast rocked the structure as they navigated through narrow corridors. Ceiling panels crashed around them, and emergency containment shields activated, sealing off sections of the station. "Perimeter breach detected," the AI warned. "Multiple entry points." They reached the transport bay just as the outer doors began to cycle open. The distinctive hum of Earth military exosuits echoed from one corridor, while from another came the high-pitched resonance of Seraphian energy weapons. Both sides arrived early, Nikolai said grimly, ushering Teravesh into the rover. And simultaneously, as he initiated the launch sequence, the transport bay doors jammed halfway open, damaged from the attack. Nikolai swore under his breath, calculating alternatives. "I can fix it," Teravesh said suddenly. Before he could protest, she slipped out of the rover and approached the mechanical controls. Her hands pressed against the interface panel, and through their connection, Nikolai felt her accessing his engineering knowledge. But she went further, channeling Seraphian energy manipulation, a technique he'd glimpsed in her memories. The panel glowed beneath her touch as she bypassed conventional circuits. The doors groaned open fully. "How did you?" Later, she cut him off, returning to the rover. "Drive." They burst from the station into blinding Arctic daylight, the rover's treads gripping ice as Nikolai pushed its engines beyond safety limits. Behind them, two opposing military forces converged on the abandoned station. "They'll realize we're gone within minutes," Nikolai said, navigating across treacherous terrain. Teravesh monitored the pursuit screens. "The blizzard front approaching from the west, can we use it?" Nikolai grinned. "Thinking like a human already." He veered sharply, heading directly into the advancing storm wall. The rover shuddered as wind speeds increased dramatically, visibility dropping to near zero. Through their neural connection, Teravesh shared her species' enhanced spatial awareness, helping him detect obstacles mere seconds before impact. This perfect synthesis of human intuition and Seraphian perception carried them through the worst of the storm. Hours later, they emerged into relative calm, the outpost appearing as a small, dark structure against the white expanse. "We've lost them," Teravesh confirmed as they secured the rover inside the outpost's garage. "Temporarily." The backup facility was basic but functional, a single laboratory connected to modest living quarters. Emergency power systems hummed to life as Nikolai activated essential systems. In the quiet that followed, the reality of their situation settled between them. "You saved my life," Teravesh said, watching as Nikolai established security protocols. "Twice now. The feeling is mutual. That door override wasn't in my skill set." She moved closer, her luminescence brightening, a physiological response Nikolai now recognized as emotional intensity. "Our connection has given me access to human emotion, human knowledge. But it's given you Seraphian abilities too." Nikolai paused, realizing she was right. Subtle changes in his perception had emerged, increased sensitivity to electromagnetic fields, flashes of intuition that felt distinctly non-human. "The bridge goes both ways," he murmured. "And it's getting stronger." Teravesh placed her hand against his cheek, the gesture sending cascades of sensation through their link. "I understand what this feeling is now. What humans call attraction," Nikolai completed. "Affection. Love," she corrected, the word carrying weight from both their cultures. The kiss that followed transcended species, a meeting of minds as much as bodies. Through their connection, the experience doubled and reflected, creating feedback loops of sensation neither had imagined possible. Human passion merged with Seraphian telepathic intimacy, creating something entirely new. Later, as they lay together in the outpost's small sleeping quarters, reality reasserted itself. "They won't stop looking," Nikolai said, tracing the luminescent patterns on her arm. "Either side." "No," she agreed. "My mission was to assess Earth's threat level and report back. Your military was likely tracking me from the moment I entered your atmosphere. What would you report, if you could return to your people now?" Teravesh was silent for a long moment. "Before our connection, I would have reported that humans are dangerous, technologically advanced but emotionally unstable, prone to violence when afraid." She turned to face him. "Now, I would tell them that humans possess extraordinary capacity for empathy, creativity, and sacrifice. That your emotional nature is your greatest strength, not weakness. And I would tell my people that Seraphians aren't the cold, calculating hive mind they fear, but beings capable of profound understanding and adaptation." A plan began taking shape between them, flowing through their shared consciousness. "What if," Teravesh said slowly, "we could extend this connection? Not fully, but enough to create understanding?" Nikolai sat up. "A modified neural interface, one that creates temporary bridges? Your research, combined with Seraphian telepathic technology." Her excitement pulsed through their link. "We could demonstrate peace is possible by making both sides feel what we've experienced." They worked through the night, Nikolai adapting his neural interface while Teravesh modified components using Seraphian techniques. Their minds functioned as one, innovations flowing between them without the barriers of language or cultural difference. By morning, they had created a prototype, a broadcasting device that could project a simplified version of their shared consciousness. "It won't create full neural links," Nikolai explained as they made final adjustments. "But it will transmit enough emotional content to cut through prejudice and fear. We'll need to get both military contingents in range simultaneously," Teravesh noted. "And they'll need to remain there long enough for the effect to take hold." A notification from their perimeter sensors interrupted, multiple vehicles approaching from different directions. "They found us," Nikolai said, checking the scanner. "Both sides. Converging in approximately 20 minutes. Teravesh lifted the broadcasting device. "Then we'll be ready for them." They positioned themselves on the outpost's roof, the Arctic sun creating halos around them as military forces surrounded the small structure. Earth troops in mechanized exosuits formed a perimeter to the south, while Seraphian scouts with energy weapons established positions to the north. Amplified voices from both sides demanded surrender. Nikolai and Teravesh stood together, hands intertwined, human and Seraphian united. Through their connection flowed absolute certainty that what they were about to do was right. "Ready?" he asked. Teravesh's luminescence brightened with determination. "For both our worlds." They activated the device. A wave of invisible energy expanded outward, carrying with it the essence of their shared experience, understanding, empathy, and the possibility of harmony between different minds. As it washed over the assembled forces, weapons lowered. Confusion gave way to curiosity, then wonder. In that moment, as two civilizations glimpsed a new path forward, Nikolai turned to Teravesh. Through their permanent neural link, no words were necessary. They had created something unprecedented, a bridge between worlds, built not of technology or diplomacy, but of connection at the most fundamental level. And in doing so, they had become something new themselves, neither fully human nor Seraphian, but the first of what might become a new understanding of consciousness itself. As military commanders approached with expressions of bewilderment rather than hostility, Nikolai and Teravesh stepped forward together. The future they would build would not be easy or without conflict. But it would be founded on something no weapon could destroy, the knowledge that across the universe, different minds could find common ground in the shared experience of existence. And perhaps, in time, in love.